At Josh Monroe 4520 donated $2 through a super chat. Volume I can't hear you.
I am working on it. This is going great. Streaming. Nvidia earnings. Third quarter. Can you hear me now? Nvidia. Thank you very much for standing by. Let me just mute myself. I've had evening full of technical joy. Let me just mute this and I will come back to you. Thank you very much for your patience. Let me hang on. Let me do this quickly. Right, I'm with you. Thank you very much for joining me. Nvidia third quarter 2025. This is the make or break event, the biggest event of the quarter. Why? Well, the markets have been going not sideways, but the markets have been going down. The S&P, how much is it down? 5-6%? Well, this could be just a correction if Nvidia deliver good guidance. If not, we might be entering a bear market and we might see a crash. What do you think? Is Nvidia going to deliver or not? Well, let's have a look at the chart. We've got the S&P. S&P, let me just zoom in quickly. Thank you very much for your patience. We've had some technical issues on my end. Hopefully that's all sorted. You can now hear me loud and clear and everything is coming through. So we've got the S&P is fairly down. I think it's about 5-6% from the previous highs. What is Nvidia doing? What is Nvidia doing? We have about 6 minutes, 5 minutes to come to the closing bell, and then we have about 5 minutes before the numbers come out. Nvidia slight recovery. We had this crash on Tuesday. Nvidia went as low as under $180. Then we had slight bounce, and today pre-market, I think everyone is pricing in this earnings call. Everyone is expecting Nvidia to beat, and I would not be surprised because Nvidia have been pushing out a lot of news recently, a lot of new partnerships, a lot of new clients or customers. So is this a make or break for the whole market? Well, it definitely is. It definitely is. I've got Bloomberg on standby as well, so we're going to be monitoring this so we are not missing the numbers. What do you think? Is Nvidia going to beat or miss? Well, we are running we were running a poll, but it's got reset and it's got ended. So let me open a new poll and we're going to run this for 5 minutes. Nvidia tonight. Is it going to be a beat, miss? Let's put sideways as well. Sideways and undecided. Undecided. Right. There is a poll in the chat. I don't know where your chat window is. Mine is right below me. So have a look in the poll and I want to hear from you. I want to hear your opinion and your votes. Is Nvidia going to beat? Are they going to miss? Are they going to go sideways? Or are you undecided? And the more votes we get, the more opinion we can gather, the better feel we get for the market and the better gauge we have on what the investors are feeling. Nvidia currently pushing up towards the closing bell. We are about 2 minutes away from the closing bell. I'll be ringing the closing bell very, very shortly. Stand by. What is the S&P doing? S&P should be reacting to it. Where is my... There we go. The S&P... No, it's not. S&P is pulling a red candle towards the closing bell. Nvidia is now pushing up 186.47. Do we have, I mean, it's a silly question, do we have any Nvidia investors? Let me know under in the chat. Don't tell me how much money you've spent with on Nvidia shares, but let me know your average. I'm very interested. Do we have any of the OG investors? Well, they are not OG. If you look back, it's like what? It's like 10 months back when Nvidia was $400. Let me know what is your average. I'm very interested. What is your average on Nvidia? And we are about 1 minute and 30 seconds away from the closing bell. Nvidia is trying to push up. We had a good build up in the volume. If you look at the closing bell, you can see the volume has been building up. RSI is holding above the median. Is Nvidia going to beat or not? Well, if Nvidia is not going to beat, this could be certainly trigger point for the bear market. So far, it looks like we've just had a correction, but this could be a bad sign for the whole market. Nvidia, as you could see on the in the thumbnail, which let me offer you that thumbnail. I'm quite chuffed with it. Let me offer you the thumbnail and tell you the story. Where are we? Stand by. I will just bring this on the screen. Where are we? Nvidia. Let me give you this because I think it's quite witty as well. Nvidia earnings, right? This is the make or break event. We've got the CEO of Nvidia, Jensen Huang, and he's portrayed as a superhero fighting for the bull market with his superpowers. Originally, he had his RTX 5090s in his or 5080s in his hands, but sort of corrected it because I thought it's quite clever, it's quite smart. So this is the main theme, this is the main topic of this event, of this evening. We are less than a minute away from the closing bell. We are coming to the closing bell. We're a few seconds. Let me just get this out of the way. Let's have a look at the chart, Nvidia, and we are closing the bell now. What you can hear is not a train. This is the official New York Stock Exchange closing and opening bell. Nvidia is holding at 186.69 at the closing bell. What else is the market doing? Well, let's have a look at a quick review, preview, you name it. We've got S&P is up 0.5% today, and it's slightly coming up. Nasdaq about the same. Bitcoin, XRP and Ethereum just going down. Ooh, not a good day for a crypto investor. And gold and silver are slightly, well, gold is slightly up. Silver is pushing above $51 per ounce. Nvidia, look at this green candle. The numbers are not out yet. The numbers are not out yet. But let's have a look at if we are not missing any updates after the closing bell. I've now brought in Bloomberg as well. Hang on, I've now brought in Bloomberg as well. Do we have any update? Do we have any news? Do we have any story?
Consumer spending on home renovations reported positive same-store sales growth for a second consecutive quarter on strength in its digital channel and in home services. Adjusted its full year.
Right, the numbers are not out yet. I'm monitoring this. I'm having Bloomberg on standby. I've got 4 different sources to get the numbers out. Let's just quickly go through the chart and see what is your average with Nvidia. Currently, red candle, we are sitting at $186.37. We've got very minor moves. Right, we've got Josh Monroe, $107. Very good. Ooh, Thomas Morrow, 88. Wow. Thomas says, hang on, let me get rid of this. Thomas says, bought Nvidia at $88 and sold at $195. Wow, congratulations. Tim Rogers is here. Thank you very much for joining as well. Hi, Vaz, great week with the show. Yes, I own Nvidia. Average price, 138. Chris F says 128. And, wow. Avozina, Gertrudes, Avozina, I can't pronounce it, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Is saying, I have 160k in Nvidia. Okay. Ganja 130. And Ninja Cowboy says more cowbell with James as well. Thank you very much for joining me. I thank you. I cannot thank you enough for bearing with me through the technical issues we had in the beginning of the event. Nvidia now sitting, it's pulled a red candle, but sitting at $186.40. I am watching Bloomberg. No numbers are coming through yet. I've got the Nvidia story ready for you on standby as well. We will go through what Nvidia are doing, what is their venture, what they have been up to, and why they should beat or miss. Let me get a bit of tea because I'm so excited. I'm so excited. We are getting great audience. I'm closing the poll. In the chat, we are running a poll. Is Nvidia tonight going to beat, miss, go sideways, or undecided? You've got last minute to cast your votes. I can see more people coming in. Thank you very much for joining. Don't forget to hit the like button, because if we hit 100 likes, YouTube will start pushing this out and we get more investors in, and I'll be running these polls through the event. The more people we get in, the better feel we will get for the investor sentiment, and we can better gauge the market emotions as well. So don't forget to hit the like button. And if you are new to this, if you subscribe, you won't miss any of this content. We are covering all, well, not all earnings in the world, but we are covering all big earnings. We are covering all Fed events, funny enough. We are bringing you a lot of crypto conferences. I'm doing myself a lot of eVTOL and aerospace events as well. Bloomberg is still quiet, so the numbers are not out. And we've got countdown to Nvidia earnings, 15 minutes. Interesting. The numbers are still not out. Let's have a look at the chart. Let me just quickly log in back to the earnings webcast, and I'm closing the poll. I'm closing the poll just so I can open a new one. So I'm ending the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom! We have a very good specimen. We have a very good specimen of over 200 investors. Where has it gone? My poll has just disappeared. Okay, so... oh dear. Right, it's been going all brilliant tonight. Let me just quickly refresh this. Can anyone see the poll? Because I just closed it and it disappeared from... oh, there we go. So 74% of you think Nvidia is going to deliver and beat. 10% miss, 9% undecided, and 7% sideways. So in general, we are all hoping and we are all excited and expecting Nvidia to deliver. Right, thank you, Chris. I love it. You are just copying and pasting the results. I love it. I can see the poll now. I don't know what's going on. It's been all going sideways. What else are we going to do? So, Nvidia, before we get the numbers out, before we get the guidance, let me start a new poll. So, are we in a bear market? Are we in a bull or a bear market? Option 1, bull market. Option 2, bear market. Option 3, sideways. Makes sense, doesn't it? And option 4, undecided, so everyone can take part. Right now, under me, next to me, wherever your chat window is, I've got new poll. Are we in a bull market, bear market? Are we going sideways, just having a correction, or are you undecided? Do cast your votes, because I want to know what our audience and our investors are thinking. I'm listening to Bloomberg. The numbers are not out yet. The chart is still, and we are still waiting. Can't say still twice, can I? In two different meanings. The chart is standstill and we are waiting and monitoring when the numbers are coming out. Let me just quickly log into the webcast. So I've got it up and running. Nvidia, because everything just kicked me out. I had to restart my PC, and that was one of the reasons why my mic was not working in the first place when we started the event. I can see a lot of votes coming through. That's great. Oh, we've got bear market creeping in your opinion? That's very good. See, this is why it's important. We get many people in. We get great audience, because then we can read the sentiment. Then we can see what is the feeling of the investors. Let me just quickly get this up and running. So the webcast is on standby. It's not yet. I need to re-log in again. So let me just quickly log in. I need to get quiet now because I can't type my email address and talk. So bear with me for a few seconds. There we go. Register, and it's not up yet. We are about 50 minutes away. We are about 50 minutes away from the actual webcast, and we are 10 minutes away. 10 minutes away from the numbers coming out. We are getting good specimen in the poll. Let me just move this out of the way. Oh, I love it tonight. I love it tonight. You are helping me so much. You are making this a great event. Are we in a bull market, bear market? Are we going sideways, or are you undecided? We have a good specimen in there. Do cast your votes in the chat, because I want to hear from all of you. What do you think? We are about 10 minutes away from getting the numbers in. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. This is the biggest event of the quarter. Definitely, no doubt. Tesla, Magnificent 7. Tesla, mediocre numbers, sell-off after the earnings. Microsoft, great delivery, great numbers, sell-off the day after. Meta, great numbers, but massive sell-off, massive reaction. Apple, great guidance, good numbers. Again, sell-off few days later. Apple, massive beat. We covered Apple live. Apple, massive beat. Sorry. No, we covered Amazon. We covered Amazon together with Apple. Apple, massive beat. Massive great guidance. And again, it didn't help. It didn't move the sentiment. What else is there? Amazon, again, massive beat. What else did I miss? What was the last one? Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, Nvidia now. I'm now completely lost. Bear with me. I've covered. I brought all the earnings, and I don't remember anything. Wow, that's great. Let me just get this on the screen. Wow. Okay, bear with me. We are watching Bloomberg as well. We are monitoring as well as different sources. The numbers are out in about 8 minutes. Let me get back to this story because I'm completely lost. Right. Let's get back through the earnings calendar. Oh, I've got blackout. We covered Tesla. That was 3 weeks ago. Tesla had mediocre guidance. There was a sell-off. We then covered Microsoft, Meta, and Google in one day. And we brought you Microsoft earnings call. Meta had a sell-off. Google, good guidance. Microsoft, good guidance. And Apple and Amazon as well in one day. That was on Thursday. That was on Thursday the 30th. Apple, massive beat. Amazon, great beat as well. However, the S&P has been selling off since, and we seem to be going through either a correction or we have been entering a bear market. I mean, if you look at crypto and if you look at the overall sentiment, we might be entering a bull market, but obviously crypto is affecting, but it's not connected and it's not joined with the stock market, with New York Stock Exchange. It can affect itself in a way, but this does not necessarily mean, if crypto is selling off, this does not necessarily mean we are entering a bull market. Nvidia is the king. I see. Yes, thank you. I see your comments. I just had a blackout in there for a minute. Thank you. I love it. I love it when you are talking to me in the chat. Crypto will follow. Yes. If we have, that's true, Liz. If we have negative guidance, we'll be entering a bull market, and crypto will follow. I mean, how low this can go? Bitcoin just under 90,000 as of today. That's the lowest of this year. How low this can go. XRP just holding above $2. And Ethereum. I remember Ethereum a few weeks ago, was it touching 4,500? Well, look at the price now, how beaten down it is. And actually, let's have a look at the S&P. If I zoom out, look at the previous. Hang on, let me just get this out of the way. Bring the chart on the screen. If you look at the previous all-time high, well, is this a correction or is this a crash? Let's have a look from the all-time high. What was it? 6,900. Can't see the numbers. What's going on today? Okay, let's make it up. Let's make it up on the. Let's not make it up. But let's wing it. So we are down almost 5%. Almost 5% in couple of weeks. That could be just a correction. But that could be a sign we are entering a bull market. If I zoom out to the 3-month chart with Nasdaq as well, Nasdaq is pretty much copying, but Nasdaq is more tech heavy. And you can see it's more volatile, and it will be more volatile to this environment. The numbers are coming out, should come out in about 5 minutes. Let's have a look if Bloomberg have a story. They are not.
Nvidia continues to improve that curve where customers are able to generate a lot more tokens for every dollar, both in terms of cost and energy. That's where the trend is going to be.
Okay, I missed half of it, but okay, we don't have a story from Bloomberg yet. That's great. We are on the track. We are 4 or 5 minutes away from getting the numbers through. Let me zoom back in on the S&P. Go away, notification. Let me zoom back in on the S&P. What is the S&P doing after the closing bell? Well, we are sort of going sideways. I think everything is now waiting for the numbers to come out. Nvidia is not. Nvidia is slightly inching up. Let's have a look. What's the difference after the closing bell? After the closing bell, we are up 0.7%. This could be a good sign. This could be also last minute buys and trades for the call. Let me just turn my heater on because it's freezing in the UK. It's freezing in the UK, and I would like to ask you, where are you watching from? Let me know in the chat. Are you from the UK? Are you from Europe? Are you from the States? Let me know in the chat. I'm very interested because usually we get a mixture of like 50-50, the US and the rest of the world. I can see in the chat, I can see more rest of the world audience in here. So let me know in the chat, where are you from? Jamie Rees, I can already see comments coming through. UK, let me know. Sweden, Iceland, Netherlands, United States, New York, United States, Wall Street Group, Canada, Texas, Australia. Tom Gupta is from Australia. Bot XRP, UK, James obviously from the UK. We got second Dutch in here. unless you are not Dutch. Jeroen from Netherlands, Finland, Mega Mike, boring old Indiana. Is it boring? I don't know, I've never been there. Great. Thailand as well, Crypto Rob 1. UK freezing to CPF Norfolk. You are not so far away from me. I'm based in Cambridgeshire. I'm literally on the edge of Cambridge, North Cambridgeshire, sorry, East Cambridgeshire and Norfolk as well. Las Vegas, Paul Stone, I love it. That's great. Mars. Caniel is from Mars. Great. Rallo1 from Ohio. We've got new subscriber. Thank you for joining. Trixik is here from Czech. I love it. He's my Czechmate. Ahoy. I've lost it now. Rene is from Netherlands. So that's third Dutch on the event. I love it. Finland, Mega Mike. Jenny from Dallas, Texas. Watching from the USA, William Mayers. Tom. Tim Olsen is from Arizona. Mario Gaza from Mexico. We've got Leonard from Florida. Maine, Steve Huntington. Nottingham, UK. Mark Fawcett. UAE, Suraj. Wookie from Nottingham. Europe. Okay. Casey is from Arizona. Sam Dix from Jordan. Very good. Hollywood, California is Brian Spencer. New Zealand, Skywalker. Faranjan, am I saying that right? Is from Pakistan. Mo is from Israel. Whoa. It still keeps popping the chat. We've got somebody from Argentina, Rodrigo, Ariel. Walker is from England, from Birmingham. Now you are from Wolverhampton, aren't you? The free to all UK says Crypto Jack. What else we've got? Miami, USA, and Nvidia. We've got the numbers through Nvidia. Let's have a look. I will come back to the chat very shortly. Nvidia, go away. What's going on? Nvidia, third quarter. Bear with me. I've just completely messed up my... I clicked the wrong thing. And I have messed up my setting. Okay, let's go back to Bloomberg. They will definitely bring the numbers out. And let me quickly check the numbers here as well. This might be quicker and more reliable. Nvidia. Let's quickly go through this. Do we have...
$49.34 billion. Third quarter adjusted EPS at $1.30. Third quarter revenue, $57.01 billion. Once again, the company sees fourth quarter revenue of $63.7 billion to $66.3 billion. The estimate was for $61.98 billion. Third quarter data center revenue coming in as a beat, $51.2 billion. Carol, stock moving higher in the after hours?
Up about 2.7% and gaining in the after hours. What's a big number, folks, is that data center number, because that definitely is a decent beat. Third quarter data center revenue, $51.2 billion. The estimate on the street was $49.34 billion. And then revenue overall, the outlook for the fourth quarter, revenue $65 billion, plus or minus 2%. The estimate on the street is $62 billion. When we talked to Angelo Zeno, he said, listen, we got to look on the guide. It's got to be at least $61 to $62 billion. Well, they're looking above that. NVIDIA's Jensen Huang in the commentary saying cloud GPUs are sold out. Also talking a little bit about expenses, operating expenses. As for the fourth quarter, adjusted operating expenses of $5 billion. That's a little bit above the street estimate, Tim, of 4.59. Investors don't seem to care, folks.
Look at the Nvidia go. Look at this massive green candle. Look at that. I mean, it's only 2.85%. No, it's not. It's more. As the volume, it's 4 It's over 4%. The volume, it has gone up as well. Look at this massive green candle. So we have a great beat. Let's just quickly, I've messed up my trading view somehow, but I'm back into it. Let's just quickly bring up the numbers on the screen for you as well. Nvidia earnings, right? Do we have this? Do we have this officially coming from Nvidia? Let's quickly get to it. Go away notification. We have now some profit taking. Is it a good time to buy? Well, perhaps not. Let's wait for the guidance. Let's wait for the guidance. The numbers are not out officially on Nvidia website. Let me try for different sources so I can bring it on the screen. We are watching Bloomberg. In the meantime, they are telling us more.
I think what happened is they got more allocation from TSMC than they were expecting. So that's upside. That was more than I was expecting. But that's flowed into numbers now, right? And you start listing all the things that could go wrong with Nvidia. That's a longer list than the things that could go right. So I still think they're challenged. I still think this is but I'll give them credit. This is a good quarter. I had actually raised my estimates last week because my checks were telling me they'd be doing pretty good. It's okay. I'll give them that. But one quarter, it's more than one quarter game here.
The street would seem to agree that it's a good quarter right now. Shares jumped 5% after that fourth quarter revenue outlook topped estimates. Nvidia giving that strong forecast that's countering fears of an AI bubble. We're also seeing.
Let's get back to Bloomberg in a second. I've got the first numbers up on the screen. Nvidia, we've got some profit taking in the meantime. But beat is a beat. Let's have a look at this. Record revenue of 57 billion, up 22% from the previous quarter. Mind-blowing. That is mind-blowing. It's similar. It reminds me of Palantir earnings from second quarter and up 62% from a year ago. Wow. A record data center revenue of 51.2 billion, up. And look at the profit taking. Look at the profit taking. That's why I said, wait, don't try to buy it on the first green candle because there's some profit taking. We'll probably move around $191 in these levels. We might be. Got new member RC3. Thank you for joining. Bitcoin back up to 90k. Well, let's have a look at Bitcoin. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Oh, you have been member for 5 months. Okay, well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at Bitcoin for our member who has been member for 5 months. XRP pushing up. That's great. After hours, Ethereum, same reaction. And let's have a look at Bitcoin. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. As you said, above 90,000. Let's have a look at what gold is doing. Okay, gold is slightly up. Silver cooling off or going sideways. You can't really tell from this candle. And the S&P, let's have a look at the S&P. Look at that. That was the reaction. Yeah, right, let's have a look at this story from TradingView. Nvidia earnings beat expectations. Blackwell sales are off the charts. After our shares plus 4.5%. Well, that's already gone because we had some profit taking. I like these flash news, but sometimes we are getting wrong numbers. Last week, I remember we got some wrong numbers for who was it? I think it was one of the Max 7. Couple of weeks back, we got incorrect numbers, and I ran with it. And then I found out it was incorrect. I don't know why. But you could see this green candle. You could see this reaction, and the initial reaction. Obviously, Nvidia. That will be that's the biggest pivot point of the whole S&P and the whole market. So that there's no doubt a reaction. Nasdaq, even bigger candle. Look at this. Look at this candle. And then we are pushing up. So what is Nvidia doing? Is Nvidia pushing up? Is Nvidia pushing up? Yes, Nvidia is pushing up on this candle. So I said I think we'll be trading around $191 and $192 until we hear the guidance. we did have a look at gold. Let's have a look at the overall market in one screen, in one place. So the S&P is up on the day, Nasdaq up 1% on the day, Bitcoin, XRP and Ethereum are slightly correcting, gold going sideways and silver still up. That's great. That's great. So let me just close the poll. We have a poll as well. Now let's get back to the numbers. Let's see the guidance. What else we've got here? So record data center revenue of 51.2 billion, up 25% from second quarter and up 66% from a year ago. That's massive. Right, what we've got here, do we have any more? For the quarter, GAAP and non-GAAP gross margin was 73.4, respectively 73.6%. I can't comprehend this number. I mean, margin 73 or 70, almost 74%. What else do you want? What else do you want? Wow. For the quarter, GAAP and non-GAAP earnings per diluted share were both $1.30. We've got a comment from Jensen Huang. Blackwell sales are off the charts. Yeah, we can tell, mate. And cloud GPUs are sold out, said Jensen Huang, founder and the CEO of Nvidia. Compute demand keeps accelerating and compounding across training and inference, each growing exponentially. We have entered the virtuous cycle of AI. The AI ecosystem is scaling fast, with more new foundation model makers, more AI startups across more industries and in more countries. AI is going everywhere, doing everything all at once. I love it. I love it. I love that. AI is going everywhere, doing everything all at once. Brilliant. During the first 9 months of fiscal 2026, Nvidia returned $37 billion to shareholders in the form of shares repurchased and cash dividends. As of the end of third quarter, the company had $62.2 billion remaining under its share repurchase authorization. We've got some numbers. Let me just zoom out so we can read it better. Oh, it's not helping. Okay. Right, we've got the revenue here, gross margin, operating expenses, operating income, net income, almost $32 billion. Wow, that's massive. Non-GAAP, you can see the numbers here as well. What else is there? Do we have any more stories? Nvidia outlook for the fourth quarter, and this is very important. This is very important for the bear and bull market. Is this going to be just a correction, or are we continuing the bull run? Nvidia's outlook for the fourth quarter of fiscal 2026 is as follows. Revenue is expected to be 65 billion plus minus 2%. GAAP and non-GAAP gross margins are expected to go even higher, up to 75%. Wow, plus minus 50 basis points. GAAP and non-GAAP operating expenses are expected to be approximately 6.7 billion and 5 billion respectively. Wow. GAAP and non-GAAP other income and expense are expected to be an income at approximately 500 million, excluding gains and losses from non-marketable and publicly held equity securities, and GAAP and non-GAAP tax rates are expected to be 17% plus minus 1%, excluding any discrete items. Highlights. Well, let's leave this for now because we will get back to this shortly. Let's have a look what Nvidia is doing. It's pushing up. I may have been wrong. I think the investors are now digesting the guidance and seeing the numbers. Again, is this a good time to buy? Probably not. It usually is not a good time to buy on the earnings call because there could be a sell-off. We could see it. We could see it on all of the Mag 7. We were seeing some great numbers, some great guidance, and then the next day or couple of days later, we could see a sell-off. So I'm running a poll as well. We are getting a good specimen. You have last few minutes to cast your votes. What do we think? Are we in a bull market? Are we in a bear market? Are we just going sideways currently? Is it a correction, or are you undecided? I'm giving you 10 more seconds. In the meantime, I can see we have more and more people coming in. Those who just joined, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you like what you are seeing, if you like this show, and if you like Nvidia, don't forget to subscribe as well. What are we doing? Right, I'm closing the poll in 3, 2, 1. We've got over 300 votes. This is great. This is great. Specimen, this is great number. So you spoke. Are we in a bull or bear market? 51% think we are still in a bull market. 25% are looking out for a bear market and crash. Sideways, just a correction, 16%, and undecided, we have 8%. So the sentiment currently is positive. Let's wait for the guidance, and probably let's wait for tomorrow, what tomorrow brings, because we had look at the chart. Okay, I was completely wrong with my levels, but it can also come back. We can have some profit taking. Let's wait for the guidance. I would not be buying it now. I would wait for the guidance. Let's have a look at the S&P. Let's have a look at the whole market. S&P is pushing up. Nasdaq, look at that push up. That's great. Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum still going sideways slightly. Gold sideways, and silver is pushing up as well on the Nvidia earnings. Let's have a look at the S&P chart as well. What's it doing? Well, S&P certainly likes the Nvidia numbers. Right, let's go back to Nvidia. Let's check what Bloomberg are telling us, and then I will speak to you on the Nvidia
4% mark that we saw in the aftermarket. It's up about 3.6, 3.7%. Jay, as you are going through the press release, anything that's jumping out that you think the Bloomberg audience needs to know about?
So far, nothing. I came to the same conclusion. There's no mention of China in here at all, which is good for now, but also concerning. It looks like their networking business, the networking side of their data center business, did a little better than expected, which is great because that's high margin business. It's very they have a really solid position there. I mean, overall, it's a pretty clean quarter. I haven't gotten all the way through it, but I am curious to hear what Jensen's going to say about circular financing and those sorts of questions. Jensen is probably the most persuasive, charismatic CEO in semiconductors right now, and so listening to him on the quarter is always going to be interesting. I want to see how much energy he brings and how he's going to address some of those sort of stickier questions.
Hey, Ed Ludlow, come on in on this as you listen to Jay. Love to bring you into the conversation with Jay.
Yeah, I think the circular financing question is one that...
Right, let's leave this story for later. We've got now the actual Nvidia press release, so let's quickly go through it. If we have any updates, we are about 24 minutes away from the actual earnings call from the webcast. Nvidia currently pushed up and sitting at $193.31. Do we have any more updates? We've been through this pretty much. Let's just quickly see if we have missed anything. Highlights. Data center. We will hear this story from Jensen as soon as the webcast starts. Let's just quickly go through it in the bullet points. Third quarter revenue was up. Revealed that Nvidia Blackwell achieved the highest performance and best overall efficiency. Okay. Announced a strategic partnership with OpenAI to deploy at least 10 gigawatts of Nvidia systems for OpenAI next generation AI infrastructure. Okay. This is These are the great bits now. Partner with industry leaders, including Google Cloud, Microsoft, Oracle, and xAI to build America's AI infrastructure with hundreds of thousands of NVIDIA GPUs. Announced that for the first time, Anthropic will run and scale on NVIDIA infrastructure, initially adopting 1 gigawatt of compute capacity with NVIDIA, Grace Blackwell, and Vera Rubin systems. Announced a collaboration with Intel, revealed plans to accelerate 7 new supercomputers, including with Oracle to build the US Department of Energy's largest AI supercomputer. Right. Celebrated the first NVIDIA Blackwell wafer produced on the US soil. Great. At the TSMC's Arizona facility. Unveiled NVIDIA Rubin CPX, a new class of GPU purpose-built for massive context processing. Introduced NVIDIA NVQ-Link, an open system architecture for tightly coupling the extreme performance of NVIDIA GPU computing with quantum processors. I think most of these stories we will see in the presentation, so I'm just quickly dashing through it. Revealed that ARM is extending its Neoverse platform with NVIDIA NVLink Fusion. Revealed that Meta, Microsoft, and Oracle will boost their AI-centered networks with NVIDIA Spectrum X Ethernet. Introduced NVIDIA Omniverse DSX, a comprehensive open blueprint for designing and operating gigawatt-scale AI factories. I mean, look at the list. It's got no end. Look at the list. I won't have enough time to read through it. Wow. Wow. I mean, NVIDIA, those who follow the market at least a bit, and those who follow eVTOL market as well and defense, you know, NVIDIA have announced loads. I mean, loads. It's not, we're not talking dozens. We are talking hundreds of partnerships with various companies, startups, and market-leading companies as well. That's all happened. That's all happened in the span of, I don't know, 2-3 months. And the list is never ending. Look at this. Look at this. You've got more. Look, that's automotive and robotics. And just here, I can pick a dozen of partnerships. Agility Robotics, Amazon Robotics, Belden, Caterpillar, Foxconn, Figure, Lucid Motors, Scaled AI, Toyota, Taiwan Semiconductors, Windstorm. Look at it. Every single article, you have loads and loads of companies and partnerships. That's amazing. Gaming. Okay, let's have a look at gaming. Do we have any NVIDIA gamers? Do you have NVIDIA in your PC? I don't. I've got a mini PC so far, and she's been doing very well until today. She's never let me down. Today we've had some issues, but she's been working overtime. I've been straining her. I've been pushing her beyond her limits with this studio and with my setup. She's been serving me well, but I'm looking for an update. And in my updated PC next year after Christmas will be definitely an NVIDIA processor. So third quarter gaming revenue. Let's have a look quickly at the chart. We are now sitting at $192.89. Let's have a look at the gaming part because I think it's quite interesting. I can see you coming back in the chat. Yes, I love it. You've got NVIDIA components. That's great. Third quarter gaming revenue was $4.3 billion just for gaming. That's mad. Look at that, $4.3 billion just for gaming. Down 1% from previous quarter. Yeah, down 1%. And up 30% from a year ago. Launched Borderlands 4, Battlefield 6, and Ark Raiders with NVIDIA DLSS for multi-frame generation and NVIDIA Reflex. Celebrated 25 years of GeForce with a GeForce Gamer Festival in Seoul, South Korea, a live event including the latest NVIDIA RTX announcements. Unveiled an NVIDIA RTX Remix update adding an advanced path traced particle system that enables modders to enhance traditional effects. I mean, I completely not understand what this is on about, but those who are gaming, I think you might explain to me in the chat what's going on. I released an Nvidia blueprint for 3D object generation. I saw a video on this, that's quite cool. RTX optimized Nvidia Tensor RT for Windows ML and performance boost for leading AI tools on RTX AI PCs. Right, let me know in the chat what I was just talking about, because I have no clue about half the stuff. What is this? Nvidia RTX remix update, adding an advanced path traced particle system. What is this all about? Please do let me know. Fetidon, upscaling graphics and smoothness. Yes, I only game at 1440p, so no need for the 5080. Trixie, oh, we've got quite few gamers in here. Oh, did you come here for Nvidia for gaming, or did you come here for your investments? And look at the chart go. We are coming up. Ooh, I need to scale. Look, I need to zoom out so we can cover the range for the after hour movement. Let me put this here. We've got a 10 key report. I'll bring it on the screen during the presentation. What is Bloomberg saying? Let's listen to this.
Components meet the demand for Blackwell and support future architecture roadmaps. Is a little different than what it's traditionally done.
I thought they can't meet demand.
Yeah, inventory is typically bad depending on the type of chip, because it signals that you know, no one's building up there. The customers aren't building inventory. By the way, Ian's covered semiconductors since 1998 at Bloomberg, so longer than 20 years. But you know, Nvidia's argument has always been, we keep telling our customers, our suppliers, and our partners what we're doing for the next 5 years. That includes the memory chip makers and telematics, data center server design builders, so that everyone can keep pace. And the argument that they're making is that when they want to ship Blackwell accelerated computing systems at scale, the GPU, it can't just be the GPU that's ready to go. You need all the other components to go with it. And, you know, with the stock up, whatever it is now in after hours, 4%.
Okay, let's leave this story for now. We've got more from Nvidia. Look at this trend. This is very nice chart or table or you name it. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. We've got comparison and development quarter over quarter. So data center. Look at that. We started fourth quarter. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 quarters. So basically a year back. Data center, 18.5 billion. Now look at the number, 51.2 billion. Gaming is still up. 2 years back, we are down quarter over quarter. But if you look at fourth quarter 24, we are almost, what is it, 40 something percent. Professional visualization, graphics cards, we are up as well. That's what, 35%. Automotive, we've got, yeah, we are big time up. We are over 100% up. And OEM and other, that's up as well. That's almost doubled. So total Nvidia from fourth quarter. Can you see it? Yes, you can see it. From fourth quarter 2024, 22 billion. And now look at this number, 57 billion. That's more than, what is it in percentage? That's 110% up. Just doing quick maths, just spitballing numbers. That's great. Let's have a look at the chart. 193.84. We are 14 minutes away from the webcast to start. We are 14 minutes away from seeing Jensen to take the stage and talk us through the guidance. Let me just quickly G up the webcast so we are not missing anything. Bear with me. Bear with me. That's not the right one. Bear with me. I'm not getting any notification yet. Okay. Let's log in then. Let's log in through here. Let me just quickly get this sorted for you. Oh, and we have the lobby music. That means we are on the track. We are, have a look. I can't play the music for you for copyright reasons, but we've got this ready. We are 13 or 12 minutes away from listening to the CEO of Nvidia. Chart is now sitting at 193.53. What is the S&P doing? Let's have a look at the overall review. The S&P is still up. Pardon me. The S&P is still up. Nasdaq 1.5% almost. Bitcoin, XRP and Ethereum are going up. XRP and Ethereum are correcting. That's great. Gold going sideways and silver slightly up. Let's have a look at crypto. Let's have a look at crypto. I do apologize. It's been a mouthful tonight for me to present you all the news and be on top of it. So Bitcoin, look at that. Look at Bitcoin sitting above 90,000. That is a good news. XRP, look at this. XRP investors, do you like it? Do you like it? And Ethereum, pretty much copying the same pattern, but on a smaller scale. Well, that's good news. Let's have a look. You know what? Let's have a look at the eVTOL market, what it's been doing. Joby is up after hours. Archer, $7.60. Still a good price. Not financial advice, but still good entry point. Vertical aerospace going sideways. It's waiting for the overall market, whether we are coming out of the correction or whether we are entering the bear market. Ehang has been going down, and I need to look deeper into this, because if we zoom out, hang on. Oh, I thought a call is coming through, and I've got something else coming through. That's fine. Let me get this out of the way so it's not disturbing me. Ehang, I need to look into this story. If we zoom out, you can see the trend line. We have actually broken through this trend line, and Ehang is, I don't want to say in a free fall, but it's not doing very well. We are covering the earnings call for Ehang as well. I think it's on the 26th of November, a couple of weeks away. So I'll be covering this. I'll be bringing you their earnings as well. Horizon Aircraft, I was surprised. I told you the key resistance will be $1.50 and will be back to $1.50. However, look at this. We are now sitting at the closing bell, $1.30. And we've got Donda sent 5 memberships. I love it. Look at this. Can you actually hear the... Oh, you can't hear it now. Can you hear the audio coming through, the notification? Let me know in the chat. Donda, thank you very much. You are members now. Tomas Navardauskas is a Lithuanian name. Ken Alteskier. Oh, you are giving me some hard time. But Bushweed one. Bushweed, you were a member before, weren't you? The Press Union, Zexi. I love it. You are members now, thanks to Donda. And you can't hear the notification. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Let me... Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's all messed up tonight. I don't know what's going on. Well, you can still see the notification. So Donda, thank you very much for your membership donation. Eve Air Mobility is down as well, and Beta, I couldn't see this coming. I thought Beta would copy that $30 line, but now we are down at $24. Beta Technologies trading only for the third week now. The S&P excuse me, the S&P is pushing up, Nasdaq is pushing up as well. Let's have a look at Nvidia. Let's zoom into this chart. There we go. We are 8 minutes away from the webcast. I can hear the lobby music. I cannot play it for copyright reasons, but don't go anywhere. You will miss the main part. We are 7 minutes away now, waiting for the webcast. What else we've got from Nvidia? We've got Chief Financial Officer commentary as well. Is it doing something? Well, it's blank. The side please don't tell me I'm going to have more issues. Bear with me, stand by. I can see myself coming through, so this must be just a local issue. There we go. There is the there are the numbers. Chief Financial Officer commentary on third quarter fiscal 2026. I can see Dogbert is asking, is Martyn in the market at the moment? I think Martyn is in the S&P now fully. As the last update from a couple of days ago I caught, no doubt you will hear from Martyn. He might be even in. He might be even watching. But no doubt you will hear updates and news from Martyn. Right, we've got the numbers: revenue, gross margin, compute and network. Yeah, we've pretty much covered all of this. We've pretty much covered the whole story. Expenses, yeah. Balance sheet. We've not been through balance sheet. Cash equivalents and marketable securities were 60.6 billion, up from 38.5 billion a year ago and 56.8 billion a quarter ago. So the cash reserve is growing. The increases primarily reflect higher revenue, partially offset by stock repurchase. Accounts receivable was 33.4. The mark. Oh, look at this. I need to bid you this story. Who is this? Dow Jones Newswires. The market is saved. Investors react to Nvidia earnings. Oh, it's Wall Street Journal. Investors seem to like what they see in Nvidia's quarterly earnings report. What a quarter! One user posted on X. Okay. That's completely relevant. One user posted on X. Oh, what a quarter! Yeah, we are in a bull market again. Yeah, okay. If Jensen, this is quite funny actually. If Jensen needed a kidney, I would give him mine. Another post read. Okay. That's just weird. Okay. Yeah, we've got these flash news are sometimes quite funny. We are 4 minutes away from the earnings call, from the actual webcast to start. What else we've got here? Multi-year cloud services. Okay, we will hear this on the call. Cash flow from operating activities was 23.8 billion, up 17.6 billion a year ago. And up from 15.4 billion a quarter ago. Right, the year-on-year and sequential increases reflect growth in revenue. Obviously, we returned 12.7 billion to shareholders in the third quarter through 12.5 billion of share repurchase and 243 million of cash dividends. Have you been getting? And we have 100 likes. I love it. Thank you very much for your support. Have you been getting your dividend? Have you been getting your dividend? Let me know what was your last dividend. Let me know what was your latest dividend. I'm getting a personal message from MSK. I'm not. Funny enough, I'm not MSK. I might do after the show when we get a call out of the way, but I'm not. Sorry. Just a personal touch from one of our members. Nvidia gave me 58 pence dividends, says abominable Joe Man. Sorry, I can't read your name. 58 cents of dividend. Okay, anybody else getting Nvidia dividend? Anybody else getting Nvidia dividend? What else we've got here? Right, we will hear this on the call. The call is on standby. The music is coming through. A bomb in a bull. Abominable. All right, abominable. Thank you. I'll remember this. Right, so you've been getting 58 pence in dividends. Very good. Anybody else getting any Nvidia dividend? We are 1.5 minute away. We are one and a half minute away. I do apologize, I had to quickly blow my nose. It's not been the greatest evening for me, but we love the challenge. I mean, what better occasion than the biggest event of the quarter. Let's have a look at the stock. Let's have a look at 194.78. That's great. Let's have a look at the overall markets. S&P holding up, Nasdaq holding up, Bitcoin holding above $90,000, XRP and Ethereum sideways, gold and silver sideways. Nvidia, you can see the nice curve after the numbers came out. What is the S&P doing? The S&P now slight retraction. Nasdaq usually copying the S&P, and we are getting some movement. No audio coming through yet, but we might have a presentation with visuals. We all love presentation with visuals. Let's have a look. I can see MSK is joining. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Sarah. And
right. We are starting Nvidia third quarter 2025 earnings call. Guidance and the biggest event of the quarter for the whole market.
If you'd like to ask a question during this time, simply press star, followed by the number 1 on your telephone keypad. If you would like to withdraw your question, press star 1 again. Thank you. Toshiya Hari, you may begin your conference.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to NVIDIA's conference call for the third quarter of fiscal 2026. With me today from NVIDIA are Jensen Huang, President and Chief Executive Officer, and Colette Kress, Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer. I'd like to remind you that our call is being webcast live on NVIDIA's Investor Relations website. The webcast will be available for replay until the conference call to discuss our financial results for the fourth quarter of fiscal 2026. The content of today's call is NVIDIA's property. It can't be reproduced or transcribed without our prior written consent. During this call, we may make forward-looking statements based on current expectations. These are subject to a number of significant risks and uncertainties, and our actual results may differ materially. For a discussion of factors that could affect our future financial results and business, please refer to the disclosure in today's earnings release, our most recent Forms 10-K and 10-Q, and the reports that we may file on Form 8-K with the Securities and Exchange Commission. All our statements are made as of today, November 19th, 2025, based on information currently available to us. Except as required by law, we assume no obligation to update any such statements. During this call, we will discuss non-GAAP financial measures. You can find a reconciliation of these non-GAAP financial measures to GAAP financial measures in our CFO commentary, which is posted on our website. With that, let me turn the call over to Colette.
Thank you, Toshiya. We delivered another outstanding quarter with revenue of $57 billion, up 62% year over year, and a record sequential revenue growth of $10 billion or 22%. Our customers continue to lean into three platform shifts, fueling exponential growth for accelerated computing, powerful AI models, and agentic applications. Yet we are still in the early innings of these transitions that will impact our work across every industry. We currently have visibility to $500 billion in Blackwell and Rubin revenue from the start of this year through the end of calendar year 2026. By executing our annual product cadence and extending our performance leadership through full stack design, we believe NVIDIA will be the superior choice for the $3 to $4 trillion in annual AI infrastructure build we estimate by the end of the decade. Demand for AI infrastructure continues to exceed our expectations. The clouds are sold out, and our GPU installed base, both new and previous generations, including Blackwell, Hopper, and Ampere, is fully utilized. Record Q3 data center revenue of $51 billion increased 66% year over year, a significant feat at our scale. Compute grew 56% year over year, driven primarily by the GB300 ramp, while networking more than doubled, given the onset of NVLink scale-up and robust double-digit growth across Spectrum X Ethernet and Quantum X InfiniBand. The world hyperscalers, a $1 trillion industry, are transforming search, recommendations, and content understanding from classical machine learning to generative AI. NVIDIA CUDA excels at both and is the ideal platform for this transition, driving infrastructure investment measured in hundreds of billions of dollars. At Meta, AI recommendation systems are delivering higher quality and more relevant content, leading to more time spent on apps such as Facebook and Threads. Analyst expectations for the top CSPs and hyperscalers in 2026 aggregate CapEx have continued to increase and now sit roughly at $600 billion, more than $200 billion higher relative to the start of the year. We see the transition to accelerated computing and generative AI across current hyperscale workloads contributing toward roughly half of our long-term opportunity. Another growth pillar is the ongoing increase in compute spend driven by foundation model builders such as Anthropic, Mistral, OpenAI, Reflection, Safe Superintelligence, Thinking Machines Lab, and xAI, all scaling compute aggressively to scale intelligence. The three scaling laws, pre-training, post-training, and inference, remain intact. In fact, we see a positive virtuous cycle emerging whereby the three scaling laws and access to compute are generating better intelligence and in turn increasing adoption and profits. OpenAI recently shared that their weekly user base has grown to 800 million. Enterprise customers has increased to 1 million, and that their gross margins were healthy. Well, Anthropic recently reported that its annualized run rate revenue has reached $7 billion as of last month, up from $1 billion at the start of the year. We are also witnessing a proliferation of agentic AI across various industries and tasks. Companies such as Cursor, Anthropic, OpenEvidence, Epic, and Abridge are experiencing a surge in user growth as they supercharge the existing workforce, delivering unquestionable ROI for coders and healthcare professionals. The world's most important enterprise software platforms like ServiceNow, CrowdStrike, and SAP are integrating NVIDIA's accelerated computing and AI stack. Our new partner, Palantir, is supercharging the incredibly popular ontology platform with NVIDIA CUDA-X libraries and AI models for the first time. Previously, like most enterprise software platforms, ontology runs only on CPUs. Lowe's is leveraging the platform to build supply chain agility, reducing costs and improving customer satisfaction. Enterprises broadly are leveraging AI to boost productivity, increase efficiency, and reduce cost. RBC is leveraging agentic AI to drive significant analyst productivity, slashing report generation time from hours to minutes. AI and digital twins are helping Unilever accelerate content creation by 2x and cut costs by 50%. And Salesforce's engineering team has seen at least 30% productivity increase in new code development after adopting Cursor. This past quarter, we announced AI factory and infrastructure projects amounting to an aggregate of 5 million GPUs. This demand spans every market: CSPs, sovereigns, model builders, enterprises, and supercomputing centers, and includes multiple landmark buildouts. xAI's Colossus 2, the world's first gigawatt-scale data center. Lilly's AI factory for drug discovery, the pharmaceutical industry's most powerful data center. And just today, AWS and Humane expanded their partnership, including the deployment of up to 150,000 AI accelerators, including our GB300. xAI and Humane also announced a partnership in which the two will jointly develop a network of world-class GPU data centers anchored by the flagship 500-megawatt facility. Blackwell gained further momentum in Q3 as GB300 crossed over GB200 and contributed roughly 2/3 of the total Blackwell revenue. The transition to GB300 has been seamless, with production shipments to the major cloud service providers, hyperscalers, and GPU clouds, and is already driving their growth. The Hopper platform, in its 13th quarter since inception, recorded approximately $2 billion in revenue in Q3. H20 sales were approximately $50 million. Sizable purchase orders never materialized in the quarter due to geopolitical issues and the increasingly competitive market in China. While we were disappointed in the current state that prevents us from shipping more competitive data center compute products to China, we are committed to continued engagement with the US and China governments, and will continue to advocate for America's ability to compete around the world. To establish a sustainable leadership and position in AI computing, America must win the support of every developer and be the platform of choice for every commercial business, including those in China. The Rubin platform is on track to ramp in the second half of 2026. Powered by 7 chips, the Vera Rubin platform will once again deliver an X-factor improvement in performance relative to Blackwell. We have received silicon back from our supply chain partners and are happy to report that NVIDIA teams across the world are executing the bring up beautifully. Rubin is our 3rd generation rack scale system, substantially redefined the manufacturability while remaining compatible with Grace Blackwell. Our supply chain, data center, ecosystem, and cloud partners have now mastered the build to installation process of NVIDIA's rack architecture. Our ecosystem will be ready for a fast Rubin ramp. Our annual X-factor performance leap increases performance per dollar while driving down computing costs for our customers. The long useful life of NVIDIA's CUDA GPUs is a significant TCO advantage over accelerators.
Look at the
CUDA's
chart going.
compatibility and our massive installed base extend the life of NVIDIA systems well beyond their original estimated useful life. For more than 2 decades, we have optimized the CUDA ecosystem, improving existing workloads, accelerating new ones, and increasing throughput with every software release. Most accelerators without CUDA and NVIDIA's time-tested and versatile architecture became obsolete within a few years as model technologies evolve. Thanks to CUDA, the A100 GPUs we shipped 6 years ago are still running at full utilization today, powered by vastly improved software stack. We have evolved over the past 25 years from a gaming GPU company to now an AI data center infrastructure company. Our ability to innovate across the CPU, the GPU, networking, and software, and ultimately drive down cost per token is unmatched across the industry. Our networking business, purpose-built for AI, and now the largest in the world, generated revenue of $8.2 billion, up 162% year over year, with NVLink, InfiniBand, and Spectrum-X Ethernet all contributing to growth. We are winning in data center networking as the majority of AI deployments now include our switches with Ethernet GPU attach rates roughly on par with InfiniBand. Meta, Microsoft, Oracle, and xAI are building gigawatt AI factories with Spectrum-X Ethernet switches, and each will run its operating system of choice, highlighting the flexibility and openness of our platform. We recently introduced Spectrum XGS, a scale-across technology that enables gigascale AI factories. NVIDIA is the only company with AI scale-up, scale-out, and scale-across platforms, reinforcing our unique position in the market as the AI infrastructure provider. Customer interest in NVLink Fusion continues to grow. We announced a strategic collaboration with Fujitsu in October, where we will integrate Fujitsu's CPUs and NVIDIA GPUs via NVLink Fusion, connecting our large ecosystems. We also announced a collaboration with Intel to develop multiple generations of custom data center and PC products, connecting NVIDIA and Intel's ecosystems using NVLink. This week at Supercomputing 25, ARM announced that it will be integrating NVLink IP for customers to build CPU SoCs that connect with NVIDIA. Currently on its 5th generation, NVLink is the only proven scale-up technology available on the market today. In the latest MLPerf training results, Blackwell Ultra delivered 5x faster time to train than Hopper. NVIDIA swept every benchmark. Notably, NVIDIA is the only training platform to leverage FP4 while meeting the MLPerf's strict accuracy standards. In semi-analysis inference max benchmark, Blackwell achieved the highest performance and lowest total cost of ownership across every model and use case. Particularly important is Blackwell's NVLink's performance on a mixture of experts, the architecture for the world's most popular reasoning models. On DeepSeek R1, Blackwell delivered 10x higher performance per watt and 10x lower cost per token versus H200, a huge generational leap fueled by our extreme co-design approach. NVIDIA Dynamo, an open source, low latency modular inference framework, has now been adopted by every major cloud service provider. Leveraging Dynamo's enablement and disaggregated inference, the resulting increase in performance of complex AI models such as MOE models, AWS, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, and OCI have boosted AI inference performance for enterprise cloud customers. We are working on a strategic partnership with OpenAI focused on helping them build and deploy at least 10 gigawatts of AI data centers. In addition, we have the opportunity to invest in the company. We serve OpenAI through their cloud partners, Microsoft Azure, OCI, and CoreWeave. We will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. As they continue to scale, we are delighted to support the company to add self-build infrastructure, and we are working toward a definitive agreement and are excited to support OpenAI's growth. Yesterday, we celebrated an announcement with Anthropic. For the first time, Anthropic is adopting NVIDIA, and we are establishing a deep technology partnership to support Anthropic's fast growth. We will collaborate to optimize Anthropic models for CUDA and deliver the best possible performance, efficiency, and TCO. We will also optimize future NVIDIA architectures for Anthropic workloads. Anthropic's compute commitment is initially including up to 1 gigawatt of compute capacity with Grace Blackwell and Vera Rubin systems. Our strategic investments in Anthropic, Mistral, OpenAI, Reflection, Thinking Machines, and other represent partnerships that grow the NVIDIA CUDA AI ecosystem and enable every model to run optimally on NVIDIA's everywhere. We will continue to invest strategically while preserving our disciplined approach to cash flow management. Physical AI is already a multi-billion-dollar business addressing a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity and the next leg of growth for NVIDIA. Leading US manufacturers and robotics innovators are leveraging NVIDIA's 3-computer architecture to train on NVIDIA, test on Omniverse computer, and deploy real-world AI on Jetson robotic computers. PTC and Siemens introduced new services that bring Omniverse-powered digital twin workflows to their extensive installed base of customers. Companies including Belden, Caterpillar, Foxconn, Lucid Motors, Toyota, TSMC, and Wistron are building Omniverse digital twin factories to accelerate AI-driven manufacturing and automation. Agility Robotics, Amazon Robotics, Figure, and Skilled at AI are building our platform, tapping offerings such as NVIDIA Cosmos World Foundation models for development, Omniverse for simulation and validation, and Jetson to power next-generation intelligent robots. We remain focused on building resiliency and redundancy in our global supply chain. Last month, in partnership with TSMC, we celebrated the first Blackwell wafer produced on US soil. We will continue to work with Foxconn, Wistron, Amkor, Spill, and others to grow our presence in the US over the next 4 years. Gaming revenue was $4.3 billion, up 30% year on year, driven by strong demand as Blackwell momentum continued. End market sell-through remains robust, and channel inventories are at normal levels heading into the holiday season. Steam recently broke its concurrent user record with 42 million gamers, while thousands of fans packed the GeForce Gamer Festival in South Korea to celebrate 25 years of GeForce. NVIDIA Pro Visualization has evolved into computers for engineers and developers, whether for graphics or for AI. Professional visualization revenue was $760 million, up 56% year over year, was another record. Growth was driven by DGX Spark, the world's smallest AI supercomputer, built on a small configuration of Grace Blackwell. Automotive revenue was $592 million, up 32% year over year, primarily driven by self-driving solutions. We are partnering with Uber to scale the world's largest Level 4 ready autonomous fleet, built on the new NVIDIA Hyperion L4 robotaxi reference architecture. Moving to the rest of the P&L, GAAP gross margins were 73.4%, and non-GAAP gross margins was 73.6%, exceeding our outlook. Gross margins increased sequentially due to our data center mix, improved cycle time, and cost structure. GAAP operating expenses were up 8% sequentially and up 11% on non-GAAP basis. The growth was driven by infrastructure compute, as well as higher compensation and benefits and engineering development costs. Non-GAAP effective tax rate for the third quarter was just over 17%, higher than our guidance of 16.5% due to the strong U.S. revenue. On our balance sheet, inventory grew 32% quarter over quarter, while supply commitments increased 63% sequentially. We are preparing for significant growth ahead and feel good about our ability to execute against our opportunity set. Okay, let me turn to the outlook for the fourth quarter. Total revenue is expected to be $65 billion, plus or minus 2%. At the midpoint, our outlook implies 14% sequential growth, driven by continued momentum in the Blackwell architecture. Consistent with last quarter, we are not assuming any data center compute revenue from China. GAAP and non-GAAP gross margins are expected to be 74.8% and 75%, respectively, plus or minus 50 basis points. Looking ahead to fiscal year 2027, input costs are on the rise, but we are working to hold gross margins in the mid-70s. GAAP and non-GAAP operating expenses are expected to be approximately $6.7 billion and $5 billion, respectively. GAAP and non-GAAP other income and expenses are expected to be an income of approximately $500 million, excluding gains and losses from non-marketable and publicly held equity securities. GAAP and non-GAAP tax rates are expected to be 17%, plus or minus 1%, excluding any discrete items. At this time, let me turn the call over to Jensen for him to say a few words.
Thanks, Colette. There's been a lot of talk about an AI bubble. From our vantage point, we see something very different. As a reminder, NVIDIA is unlike any other accelerator. We excel at every phase of AI, from pre-training and post-training to inference. And with our 2-decade investment in CUDA-X acceleration libraries, we are also exceptional at science and engineering simulations, computer graphics, structured data processing, to classical machine learning. The world is undergoing 3 massive platform shifts at once. The first time since the dawn of Moore's Law. NVIDIA is uniquely addressing each of the 3 transformations. The first transition is from CPU general purpose computing to GPU accelerated computing, as Moore's Law slows. The world has a massive investment in non-AI software, from data processing to science and engineering simulations, representing hundreds of billions of dollars in cloud computing spend each year. Many of these applications, which ran once exclusively on CPUs, are now rapidly shifting to CUDA GPUs. Accelerated computing has reached a tipping point. Secondly, AI has also reached a tipping point and is transforming existing applications while enabling entirely new ones. For existing applications, generative AI is replacing classical machine learning in search ranking, recommender systems, ad targeting, click-through prediction, to content moderation, the very foundations of hyperscale infrastructure. Meta's GEM, a foundation model for ad recommendations trained on large-scale GPU clusters, exemplifies this shift. In Q2, Meta reported over a 5% increase in ad conversions on Instagram and 3% gain on Facebook feed, driven by generative AI-based GEM. Transitioning to generative AI represents substantial revenue gains for hyperscalers. Now, a new wave is rising. Agentic AI systems, capable of reasoning, planning, and using tools. From coding assistants like Cursor and Claude Code to radiology tools like iDoc, legal assistants like Harvey, and AI chauffeurs like Tesla FSD and Waymo. These systems mark the next frontier of computing. The fastest growing companies in the world today, OpenAI, Anthropic, xAI, Google, Cursor, Lovable, Replit, Cognition AI, OpenEvidence, Abridged, Tesla, are pioneering agentic AI. So there are three massive platform shifts. The transition to accelerated computing is foundational and necessary, essential in a post-Moore's Law era. The transition to generative AI is transformational and necessary, supercharging existing applications and business models. And the transition to agentic and physical AI will be revolutionary, giving rise to new applications, companies, products, and services. As you consider infrastructure investments, consider these three fundamental dynamics. Each will contribute to infrastructure growth in the coming years. NVIDIA is chosen because our singular architecture enables all three transitions, and thus so for any form and modality of AI, across all industries, across every phase of AI, across all of the diverse computing needs in a cloud, and also from cloud to enterprise to robots. One architecture. Toshiya, back to you.
We will now open the call for questions. Operator, would you please poll for questions?
This is the most important part of the whole event. Don't go anywhere. We will learn a lot. We will learn a lot. Don't go anywhere. Also, I showed on the screen, I popped in the chat, our sponsor, Charlotte May Weddings. They are now talking. Don't worry, you're not missing anything. They are talking, introducing the call. Charlotte May Weddings, our member who are sponsoring the show. Thank you very much. If you check them out, got some great footage from the Mediterranean.
In 25 and 26 at GTC. At that time, you had talked about 150 billion of that already having been shipped. So as the quarter's wrapped up, are those still kind of the general parameters that there's 350 billion in the next kind of, 14 months or so? And, I would assume over that time, you haven't seen all the demand that there is. There's any possibility of upside to those numbers as we move forward.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. I'll start first with a response here on that. Yes, that's correct. We are working into our 500 billion forecast, and we are on track for that as we have finished some of the quarters, and now we have several quarters now in front of us to take us through the end of calendar year 26. The number will grow, and we will achieve, I'm sure, additional needs for compute that will be shippable by fiscal year 26. So we shipped 50 billion this quarter, but we would be not finished if we didn't say that we'll probably be taking more orders. For example, just even today, our announcements with KSA, and that agreement in itself is 400 to 600,000 more GPUs over 3 years. Anthropic is also net new. So there's definitely an opportunity for us to have more on top of the 500 billion that we announced.
The next question comes from CJ Muse with Cantor Fitzgerald. Your line is open.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you for taking the question. There's clearly a great deal of consternation around the magnitude of AI infrastructure build-outs and the ability to fund such plans and the ROI. Yet, at the same time, you're talking about being sold out. Every stood-up GP is taken. The AI world hasn't seen the enormous benefit yet, from B300, never mind Rubin. and Gemini 3 just announced Grok 5 coming soon. And so the question is this: when you look at that as the backdrop, do you see a realistic path for supply to catch up with demand over the next 12 to 18 months, or do you think it can extend beyond that time frame?
Well, as you know, we've done a really good job planning our supply chain. NVIDIA's supply chain basically includes every technology company in the world. And TSMC and their packaging and our memory vendors and memory partners and all of our system ODMs have done a really good job planning with us. And we were planning for a big year. You know, we've seen for some time the three transitions that I spoke about just a second ago: accelerated computing from general purpose computing. And it's really important to recognize that AI is not just agentic AI, but generative AI is transforming the way that hyperscalers did the work that they used to do on CPUs. Generative AI made it possible for them to move search and recommender systems and, you know, add recommendations and targeting. All of that has been moved to generative AI, and it's still transitioning. And so whether you installed NVIDIA GPUs for data processing, or you did it for generative AI for your recommender system, or you're building it for agentic chatbots and the type of AIs that most people see when they think about AI, all of those applications are accelerated by NVIDIA. And so when you look at the totality of the spend, it's really important to think about each one of those layers. They're all growing. They're related, but not the same. But the wonderful thing is that they all run on NVIDIA GPUs. Simultaneously, because the quality of the AI models are improving so incredibly, the adoption of it in the different use cases, whether it's in code assistance, which NVIDIA uses fairly exhaustively, and we're not the only one. I mean, the fastest growing application in history, combination of Cursor and Claude Code and OpenAI's Codex and GitHub Copilot. These applications are the fastest growing in history. And it's not just used for software engineers. It's used because of vibe coding, it's used by engineers and marketeers all over companies, supply chain planners all over companies. And so I think that that's just one example, and the list goes on, you know, whether it's open evidence and the work that they do in healthcare, or the work that's being done in digital video editing, Runway. And I mean, the number of really, really exciting startups that are taking advantage of generative AI and agentic AI is growing quite rapidly. And not to mention, we're all using it a lot more. And so all of these exponentials, not to mention, you know, just today I was reading a text from Demis, and he was saying that pre-training and post-training are fully intact, you know, and Gemini 3 takes advantage of the scaling laws and received a huge jump in quality and performance, model performance. And so we're seeing all of these exponentials kind of running at the same time, and just always go back to first principles and think about what's happening from each one of the dynamics that I mentioned before: general purpose computing to accelerated computing, generative AI replacing classical machine learning, and of course, agentic AI, which is a brand new category.
The next question comes from Vivek Arya with Bank of America Securities. Your line is open.
Thanks for taking my question. I'm curious, what assumptions are you making on NVIDIA content per gigawatt in that 500 billion number? Because we have heard, you know, numbers as low as 25 billion per gigawatt of content to as high as 30 or 40 billion per gigawatt. So I'm curious what power and what dollar per gigawatt assumptions you are making as part of that 500 billion number. And then longer term, Jensen, the 3 to 4 trillion in data center by 2030 was mentioned. How much of that do you think will require vendor financing, and how much of that can be supported by cash flows of your large customers or governments or enterprises? Thank you.
In each generation, from Ampere to Hopper, from Hopper to Blackwell, Blackwell to Rubin, a part of the data center increases. And Hopper generation was probably something along the lines of 20 some odd, 20 to 25. Blackwell generation, Grace Blackwell particularly, is probably 30 to 30, say 30 plus or minus. And then Rubin is probably higher than that. And in each one of these generations, the speed up is X factors. And therefore their TCO, the customer TCO, improves by X factors. And the most important thing is, in the end, you still only have 1 gigawatt of power. 1 gigawatt data centers, 1 gigawatt power. And therefore, performance per watt, the efficiency of your architecture is incredibly important. And the efficiency of your architecture can't be brute forced. There is no brute forcing about it. That 1 gigawatt translates directly, your performance per watt translates directly, absolutely directly to your revenues, which is the reason why choosing the right architecture matters so much now. The world doesn't have an excess of anything to squander. And so we have to be really, really, we use this concept called co-design across our entire stack, across the frameworks and models, across the entire data center, even power and cooling optimized across the entire supply chain in our ecosystem. And so each generation, our economic contribution will be greater, our value delivered will be greater, but the most important thing is our energy efficiency per watt is going to be extraordinary every single generation. With respect to growing into continuing to grow, our customers' financing is up to them. We see the opportunity to grow for quite some time. And remember, today, most of the focus has been on the hyperscalers. And one of the areas that is really misunderstood about the hyperscalers is that the investment on NVIDIA GPUs not only improves their scale, speed, and cost from general purpose computing. That's number one, because Moore's law scaling has really slowed. Moore's law is about driving costs down. It's about deflationary cost, the incredible deflationary cost of computing over time, but that has slowed. Therefore, a new approach is necessary for them to keep driving the cost down. Going to NVIDIA GPU computing is really the best way to do so. The second is revenue boosting in their current business models. Recommender systems drive the world's hyperscalers. Every single, whether it's watching short form videos or recommending books or recommending the next item in your basket, to recommending ads, to recommending news, it's all about recommenders. The internet has trillions of pieces of content. How could they possibly figure out what to put in front of you in your little tiny screen unless they have really sophisticated recommender systems to do so? Well, that has gone generative AI. So the first two things that I just said, hundreds of billions of dollars of CapEx is going to have to be invested, is fully cash flow funded. What is above it, therefore, is agentic AI. This is revenue, is net new consumption, but it's also net new applications. And some of the applications I mentioned before, but these new applications are also the fastest growing applications in history. Okay, so I think that you're going to see that once people start to appreciate what is actually happening under the water, if you will, from the simplistic view of what's happening to CapEx investment, recognizing there's these three dynamics. And then lastly, remember, we were just talking about the American CSPs. Each country will fund their own infrastructure. And you have multiple countries, you have multiple industries. Most of the world's industries haven't really engaged agentic AI yet, and they're about to. All the names of companies that we're working with, whether it's autonomous vehicle companies or digital twins for physical AI for factories, and the number of factories and warehouses being built around the world, just the number of digital biology startups that are being funded so that we could accelerate drug discovery. All of those different industries are now getting engaged, and they're going to do their own fundraising. And so don't just look at the hyperscalers as a way to build out for the future. You got to look at the world. You got to look at all the different industries, and enterprise computing is going to fund their own industry.
The next question comes from Ben Reitzes with Melius. Your line is open.
Hey, thanks a lot. Jensen, I wanted to ask you about cash. Speaking of $500 billion, you may generate about $500 billion in free cash flow over the next couple of years. What are your plans for that cash? How much goes to buyback versus investing in the ecosystem? And how do you look at investing in the ecosystem? I think there's just a lot of confusion out there about how these deals work and your criteria for doing those, like the Anthropic, the OpenAIs, et cetera. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, appreciate the question. Of course, using cash to fund our growth. No company has ever grown at the scale that we're talking about and have the connection and the depth and the breadth of supply chain that NVIDIA has. The reason why our entire customer base can rely on us is because we've secured a really resilient supply chain, and we have the balance sheet to support them. When we make purchases, our suppliers can take it to the bank. When we make forecasts and we plan with them, they take us seriously because of our balance sheet. We're not making up the offtake. We know what our offtake is, and because they've been planning with us for so many years, our reputation and our credibility is incredible. And so it takes really strong balance sheet to do that, to support the level of growth and the rate of growth and the magnitude associated with that. So that's number one. The second thing, of course, we're going to continue to do stock buybacks. We're going to continue to do that. But with respect to the investments, this is really, really important work that we do. All of the investments that we've done so far, all the way, period, is associated with expanding the reach of CUDA, expanding the ecosystem. If you look at the work, the investments that we did with OpenAI, it's, of course, that relationship we've had since 2016. I delivered the first AI supercomputer ever made to OpenAI. And so we've had a close and wonderful relationship with OpenAI since then. And everything that OpenAI does runs on NVIDIA today. So all the clouds that they deploy in, whether it's training and inference, runs NVIDIA, and we love working with them. The partnership that we have with them is one so that we could work even deeper from a technical perspective, so that we could support their accelerated growth. This is a company that's growing incredibly fast, and don't just look at what is said in the press. Look at all the ecosystem partners and all the developers that are connected to OpenAI, and they're all driving consumption of it. And the quality of the AI that's being produced, huge step up since a year ago. And so the quality of response is extraordinary. So we invest in OpenAI for a deep partnership in co-development to expand our ecosystem and to support their growth. And of course, rather than giving up a share of our company, we get a share of their company. And we invested in them in one of the most consequential, once-in-a-generation company that we have a share of. And so I fully expect that investment to translate to extraordinary returns. Now, in the case of Anthropic,
through a super chat.
This is the first time that Anthropic will be on NVIDIA's architecture. The first time Anthropic will be on NVIDIA's architecture. It is the second most successful AI in the world in terms of total number of users. But in enterprise, they're doing incredibly well. Claude Code is doing incredibly well. Claude is doing incredibly well all over the world's enterprise. And now we have the opportunity to have a deep partnership with them and bringing Claude onto the NVIDIA platform. And so what do we have now? NVIDIA's architecture, taking a step back, NVIDIA's architecture, NVIDIA's platform is the singular platform in the world that runs every AI model. We run OpenAI, we run Anthropic, we run xAI, because of our deep partnership with Elon and XAI, we were able to bring that opportunity to Saudi Arabia, to the KSA, so that Humane could also be a hosting opportunity for XAI. We run XAI, we run Gemini, we run thinking machines. Let's see, what else do we run? We run them all. And so not to mention, we run the science models, the biology models, DNA models, gene models, chemical models, and all the different fields around the world. It's not just cognitive AI that the world uses. AI is impacting every single industry. And so we have the ability, through the ecosystem investments that we
RB
make,
donated $1.99
to partner
through a
with,
super
deeply
chat.
partner on a
Second bet,
technical basis
thanks
with
Vaz. Tumblr glass emoji.
some of the best
Cool
companies,
face
most
emoji.
brilliant companies in the world. We're expanding the reach of our ecosystem, and we're getting a share and investment in what will be a very successful company, oftentimes once in a generation company. And so that's our investment thesis.
The next question comes from Jim Schneider with Goldman Sachs. Your line is open.
Good afternoon. Thanks for taking my question. In the past, you've talked about roughly 40% of your shipments tied to AI inference. I'm wondering, as you look forward into next year, where do you expect that percentage could go in say, a year's time? And can we maybe address the Rubin CPX product you expect to introduce next year and contextualize that? How big of the overall TAM you expect that can take, and maybe talk about some of the target customer applications for that specific product? Thank you.
CPX is designed for long context type of workload generation. And so long context, basically, before you start generating answers, you have to read a lot, basically, long context. And it could be a bunch of PDFs, it could be watching a bunch of videos, studying 3D images, so on and so forth. You have to absorb the context. And so CPX is designed for long context type of workloads. And its perf per dollar is excellent. Its perf per watt is excellent. And which made me forget the first part of the question.
Inferencing.
Oh, inference. Yeah, there are three scaling laws that are scaling at the same time. The first scaling law, called pre-training, continues to be very effective. And the second is post-training. Post-training basically has found incredible algorithms for improving an AI's ability to break a problem down and solve a problem step by step. And post-training is scaling exponentially. Basically, the more compute you apply to a model, the smarter it is, the more intelligent it is. And then the third is inference. Inference, because of chain of thought, because of reasoning capabilities, AIs are essentially reading, thinking before it answers. And the amount of computation necessary as a result of those three things has gone completely exponential. I think that it's hard to know exactly what the percentage will be at any given point in time and who. But of course, our hope is that inference is a very large part of the market, because if inference is large, then what it suggests is that people are using it in more applications, and they're using it more frequently. And that's, we should all hope for inference to be very large. And this is where Grace Blackwell is just an order of magnitude better, more advanced than anything in the world. The second best platform is H200. And it's very clear now that GB200, GB300, because of NVLink 72, the scale-up network that we have, achieve, and you saw, and Colette talked about in the semi-analysis benchmark, it's the largest single inference benchmark ever done. And GB200, NVLink 72, is 10 to 15 times higher performance. And so that's a big step up. It's going to take a long time before somebody is able to take that on. And our leadership there is surely multi-year. Yeah. And so I'm hoping that inference becomes a very big deal. our leadership in inference is extraordinary.
The next question comes from Timothy Arcuri with UBS. Your line is open.
Thanks a lot. Jensen, many of your customers are pursuing behind-the-meter power, but like, what's the single biggest bottleneck that worries you that could constrain your growth? Is it power, or maybe it's financing, or maybe it's something else like memory or even foundry? Thanks a lot.
Well, these are all issues, and they're all constraints. And the reason for that, when you're growing at the rate that we are and the scale that we are, how could anything be easy? What NVIDIA is doing obviously has never been done before. And we've created a whole new industry. Now, on the one hand, we are transitioning computing from general purpose and classical or traditional computing to accelerated computing and AI. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, we created a whole new industry called AI factories. The idea that in order for software to run, you need these factories to generate it, generate every single token instead of retrieving information that was pre-created. And so I think this whole transition requires extraordinary scale. And all the way from the supply chain, of course, the supply chain, we have much better visibility and control over it because, obviously we're incredibly good at managing our supply chain. We have great partners that we've worked with for 33 years. And so the supply chain part of it, we're quite confident. Now, looking down our supply chain, we've now established partnerships with so many players in land and power and shell, and of course, financing. These things, none of these things are easy, but they're all tractable and they're all solvable things. And the most important thing that we have to do is do a good job planning. We plan up the supply chain, down the supply chain. We have established a whole lot of partners, and so we have a lot of routes to market. And very importantly, our architecture has to deliver the best value to the customers that we have. And so at this point, I'm very confident that NVIDIA's architecture is the best performance per TCO. It is the best performance per watt, and therefore for any amount of energy that is delivered, our architecture will drive the most revenues. And I think the increasing rate of our success, I think that we're more successful this year at this point than we were last year at this point. The number of customers coming to us and the number of platforms coming to us after they've explored others is increasing, not decreasing. And so I think I think all of that is just, all the things that I've been telling you over the years are really coming true and or becoming evident.
The next question comes from Stacy Rasgon with Bernstein Research. Your line is open.
Questions. Colette, I had some questions on margins. You said for next year you're working to hold them in the mid-70s. So I guess, first of all, what are the biggest cost increases? Is it just memory or is it something else? What are you doing to work toward that? How much is cost optimizations versus pre-buys versus pricing? And then also, how should we think about OpEx growth next year, given the revenues seem likely to grow materially from where we're running right now?
Thanks, Stacey. Let me see if I can start with remembering where we were with the current fiscal year that we're in. Remember, earlier this year, we indicated that through cost improvements and mix that we would exit the year in our gross margins in the mid-70s. We've achieved that and getting ready to also execute that in Q4. So now it's time for us to communicate where are we working right now in terms of next year. Next year, there are input prices that are well known in the industries that we need to work through. And our systems are by no means very easy to work with. There are a tremendous amount of components, many different parts of it as we think about that. So we're taking all of that into account, but we do believe if we look at working again on cost improvements, cycle time, and mix that we will work to try and hold at our gross margins in the mid 70s. So that's our overall plan for gross margin. Your second question is around OpEx. And right now, our goal in terms of OpEx is to really make sure that we are innovating with our engineering teams, with all of our business teams, to create more and more systems for this market. As you know, right now we have a new architecture coming out, and that means they are quite busy in order to meet that goal. And so we're going to continue to see our investments on innovating more and more, both our software, both our systems, and our hardware to do so. I'll turn it to Jensen if he wants to add in a couple more comments.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. I think the only thing that I would add is remember that we plan, we forecast, we plan, and we negotiate with our supply chain well in advance. Our supply chain have known for quite a long time our requirements, and they've known for quite a long time our demand, and we've been working with them and negotiating with them for quite a long time. And so I think the recent surge, obviously quite significant, but remember our supply chain has been working with us for a very long time. And so in many cases we've secured a lot of supply for ourselves, because obviously they're working with the largest company in the world in doing so, and we've also been working closely with them on the financial aspects of it, and securing forecasts and plans and so on and so forth. So I think all of that has worked out well for us.
Your final question comes from the line of Aaron Rakers with Wells Fargo. Your line is open.
Yeah, thanks for taking the question. Jensen, the question's for you. As you think about the Anthropic deal that was announced and just the overall breadth of your customers, I'm curious if your thoughts around the role that AI ASICs or dedicated XPUs play in these architecture build-outs has changed at all. Have you seen, I think you've been fairly adamant in the past that some of these programs never really see deployments, but I'm curious if we're at a point where maybe that's even changed more in favor of just GPU architecture. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I really appreciate the question. So first of all, you're not competing against teams. You're against a company. You're competing against teams, and there just aren't that many teams in the world who are extraordinary at building these incredibly complicated things. Back in the Hopper day and the Ampere days, we would build one GPU. That's the definition of an accelerated AI system. But today, we've got to build entire racks, three different types of switches: a scale up, a scale out, and a scale across switch. And it takes a lot more than one chip to build a compute node anymore. Everything about that computing system, because AI needs to have memory, AI didn't used to have memory at all. Now it has to remember things. The amount of memory and context it has is gigantic. The memory architecture implication is incredible. The diversity of models, from mixture of experts to dense models to diffusion models to autoregressive, not to mention, biological models that obeys the laws of physics. The list of different types of models has exploded in the last several years. And so the challenge is the complexity of the problem is much higher. The diversity of AI models is incredibly large. And so this is where, if I will say, the 5 things that makes us special, if you will. The first thing I would say that makes us special is that we accelerate every phase of that transition. That's the first phase. That CUDA allows us to have CUDA-X for transitioning from general purpose accelerated computing. We're incredibly good at generative AI. We're incredibly good at agentic AI. So every single phase of that, every single layer of that transition, we are excellent at. You can invest in one architecture, use it across the board. You can use one architecture and not worry about the changes in the workload across those 3 phases. That's number 1. Number 2, we're excellent at every phase of AI. Everybody's always known that we're incredibly good at pre-training. We're obviously very good at post-training, and we're incredibly good as it turns out, at inference, because inference is really, really hard. How could thinking be easy? You know, people think that inference is one shot and therefore it's easy. Anybody could approach the market that way. But it turns out to be the hardest of all, because thinking, as it turns out, is quite hard. We're great at every phase of AI, the second thing. The third thing is we're now the only architecture in the world that runs every AI model, every frontier AI model. We run open source AI models incredibly well. We run science models, biology models, robotics models. We run every single model. We're the only architecture in the world that can claim that. It doesn't matter whether you're autoregressive or diffusion based. We run everything. And we run it for every major platform, as I just mentioned. So we run every model. And then the fourth thing I would say is that we're in every cloud. The reason why developers love us is because we're literally everywhere. We're in every cloud. We're in every, we could even make you a little tiny cloud called DGX Spark. And so we're in every computer. We're everywhere, from cloud to on-prem to robotic systems, edge devices, PCs, you name it. One architecture, things just work. It's incredible. And then the last thing, and this is probably the most important thing, the fifth thing, is if you are a cloud service provider, if you're a new company like Humane, if you're a new company like CoreWeave or Nscale or Nebius, or OCI for that matter, the reason why NVIDIA is the best platform for you is because our offtake is so diverse. We can help you with offtake. It's not about just putting a random ASIC into a data center. Where's the offtake coming from? Where's the diversity coming from? Where's the resilience coming from? The versatility of the architecture coming from, the diversity of capability coming from. NVIDIA has such incredibly good offtake because our ecosystem is so large. So these 5 things, every phase of acceleration and transition, every phase of AI, every model, every cloud to on-prem, and of course, finally, it all leads to offtake.
Thank you. I will now turn the call to Toshiya Hari for closing remarks.
In closing, please note we will be at the UBS Global Technology and AI Conference on December 2nd, and our earnings call to discuss the results of our fourth quarter of fiscal 2026 is scheduled for February 25th. Thank you for joining us today. Operator, please go ahead and close the call.
Thank you. This concludes today's conference call. You may now disconnect.
How about that? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Did you like the numbers? Did you like the guidance? I mean, some of the numbers are ridiculous. If you put this into context of your life, of your personal life, and you just see the numbers, it's just beyond understanding. If you look at a wider context, if you put Nvidia on the stock market and on the whole AI, in the whole AI sector and the computers and stuff, that makes more sense, but some of the numbers were beyond my comprehension. We are running a poll. I will close this poll in 10-15 seconds. Tomorrow, green or red day? Green or red? We'll be going sideways or undecided. Currently, it looks like we might go sideways. I would not be surprised. So I will leave this on and I will give you one more poll. Go about 5, 4, 3, 2. Whoops, I closed it sooner. So 68% of you think we're gonna have a green day tomorrow. 17% are looking out for a red day, undecided 8%, and 7 sideways. Well, are we gonna get a green day? Are we gonna get a mega green day? Or is still the bull market and the crash looming? I can't say. I think we will have some good reaction in tech, but I'm not sure this is enough. Well, massive numbers, obviously, but crypto and everything. Watching the stock market developing in past few days. Situation about the government lockdown, situation about Donald Trump. I don't know. Me personally, I would probably wait. I would wait a couple of days and see see for myself. So my last poll would be listening to the call and guidance. Is Nvidia a buy, hold, or sell? And I want to hear from you now, because you were here with me. You've been here with me for the length of the call. We've been through the numbers. I want to hear from you. So is it a buy, hold? I'm not telling you what I am thinking, because I don't want to influence you. Buy, hold, sell, and undecided. Undecided. So the poll is up and running right now in the chat, wherever your chat window is. Mine is under me. So I am voting as well. I'm not telling you what I'm voting for until I've closed the poll. So Nvidia, is it a buy, hold, or sell? Let me know in the chat. And I see we've had some good conversation. Martyn is here. Martyn, what is your prediction? What is your prediction for tomorrow, Martyn? Green day, red day, or going sideways? Don't say you are undecided. You can't say that, Martyn. You can't say that. Martyn, green day, red day, sideways tomorrow. Let's have a look at the markets in overall. The S&P likes it. Nasdaq likes it. Crypto, it's been going up. XRP likes it as well. Bitcoin over 91,000. That's great. Ethereum over $3,000 mark. Gold slightly up. Silver slightly up. Let's have a look at the actual charts. Nvidia currently sitting at $195.13. Gold, well, let's start from here. Gold is up. Silver is copying, trailing gold. Oil is up today. Where are we? Bitcoin, look at that. Look at those nice green 2 candles. That's good. I like it. And XRP copying the second candle, as well as Ethereum. That's good. That's a good sign for now. The S&P, look at that. Got these nice green big candles as well. That could be a good sign. Martyn is saying green for sure. And Donda has just donated 5 more memberships. I love it. Thank you very much for everyone. Got Nada, John Beresford, Death Pro, Bear Market Capitalist, and Blake. Thank you very much, Donda, for giving out and donating all these memberships. There we go. If you wanna say thank you to Donda, those who are watching, please do so in the chat. Nasdaq, let's have a look at Nasdaq. We've got first red candle after 5 green ones, but it could be just a little correction, as well as the S&P. And Nvidia is now. I'm just reading this quick flash news. Nvidia's fantastic rise triggers VC hubberish signal. Okay, right. Nvidia started pushing up again. $196.20. So after the numbers have gone out, we went all the way. Over 6%. Currently, we are sitting just above 5% from the closing bell value. That's great. Let's see tomorrow. Martyn is saying definitely green tomorrow. That's great. We've got a poll open. May I ask you to cast your votes in? I'll be ending the event very shortly, so I want to see. Do you think Nvidia, is it a buy, hold, sell, or are you undecided? What else we can go through? We've seen the numbers, massive growth. If you look at it 2 years back, massive growth. What else we've got here? Do we have anything from Bloomberg? Let me quickly check if we have any story of the day. No. Let's see if Donald Trump is talking live somewhere. Might be. It might be. Bear with me. Donald Trump. Let's quickly check this. If he's talking live somewhere. If he's giving somebody pet names. Right, that's not what I'm looking for. That's a replay. I don't think they are. I don't think anything is going on right now. No. Okay. So I think we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up. Do you have anything you want to say? If you want to say anything, you've got last few seconds before I read through the chat, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Let's have a quick look. So the poll is Nvidia buy, hold, sell, or are you undecided? Well, I have cast my vote as well. And we are closing the poll in 10 seconds. Just want to go quickly through the chat with you. And we're going to wrap it up. Tomorrow morning, Sensei will not be live because he's going through some technical torture. I think he's moving his studio as well. I'll try to go live tomorrow afternoon with some eVTOL news, but I cannot promise anything. I've had technical issues as well. I'll try to focus on it and deliver, because I haven't been live with eVTOLs for over a week. And then next week we're gonna have some news for you. We're gonna have some updates. You will see the lot. It's not the season 5 kicking off yet, but you will see a lot of news. So the poll, I'm leaving the poll up and open for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm closing the poll. I could see last 2 votes coming in. Listening to the call and guidance, is Nvidia a buy, hold, or sell? Well, 53% of you agrees with me. It's a buy. Hold 29%, undecided 10%, and sell 8%. Well, generally, are you happy? Are you happy with the earnings? Are you happy with the guidance? Are you happy with the market recovery? Let me know. I certainly am, but is this going to last? Let's see. It's only one way to find out, isn't it? So let's quickly. Nvidia is pushing up again, and it's unbelievable how one stock, how one company can potentially save the whole stock market. Right, let's quickly go through your comments. I got some super chats from David and Abby. Thank you, I love it. Human being Liz is here as well. I wait for 170, but nada, goes up again. Okay, stock buyback were illegal at one point in time, says Dingy Don. Fair enough. Potato Family is here. Thank you for joining. Bam name, Cam clients. Okay. The AI companies are buying for each other to hype up their sales, says Nimisha. Human being Liz, greeting to Potato Family. Potato Family. I love it. Has Jensen mentioned anything about Intel? No, he has not. He has not. If AI replaces our jobs, where will they get income taxes? If AI replaces, that's a good question. AI tax, says MSK, great. Abby, they will charge the owners of the companies. How do they charge for AI, says Dingy Don. Abby says, no telling what I'm going to witness if I make it another 30 years around here. Well, you're going to witness the first 1 billion subscribers channel on YouTube if you stand by for long enough. Abby, Jetson is looking promising. Jetsons are looking promising. David says, Abby, I hope I make it another 30 years to see. WTF, I'm worried about the outlook on AI replacing jobs. At some point, I think a lot of us said, so I will just buy these positions. Good idea, right? But to me, it seems like all the big players. Nimisha, Abby, change is coming very fast, a lot sooner than 30 years. I agree. WTF, are private, not publicly invested. For instance, good idea, right? But to me, it seems like all the big players are private, not publicly invested. For instance, Amazon co-founder Jeff Bezos has just announced Project Prometheus, an AI engineering and manufacturing company. To be honest, I thought Amazon was that here. So now we have a company that only ventures investment profit, and it seems like Elon had the same idea. Yeah, he literally quoted, well, he didn't quote, he literally called out Jeff on X, that he said, what did he say? He didn't say he stole his idea, but he said, you're doing it as well, or something like that. So I think all these future companies may be out of reach of retail, possibly, very possibly. Dingy says, is AI going to change consultation fees for access to the big brain to solve a problem? Good question. I just got to start learning how to take advantage of it all. Very good. I love it. So the poll tomorrow, 68% green, 17% think we're going to have a red day. Undecided 8, sideways 7. Mega green says abominable. Am I saying that right? I forgot. Human being is, yes, we need the numbers don't lie. Dingy, if they take the jobs away, how is everyone going to buy the product made by AI robots? Well, AI will be buying AI for your money, Martyn is here, and Martyn thinks green for sure. Great. What else we've got here? Do we have any more questions? Numbers don't lie. Hope you are happy with the market, Martyn. Dingy says, Joe, seriously, dude, if how do you make money? Not everyone is smart, and then they take away the more skilled jobs, then will enough people to buy products. That will be. Donda, thank you for the memberships. Cannot thank you enough. You've given out 10 memberships on today's show. I love it. Thank you. Human being Liz, yes, if it wasn't for my 30 years son, I wouldn't be using AI as of now, says Abby. I love it. I'm just holding my core at 107, says Josh Monroe. Donda, you are awesome. Yes, you are indeed. Buy, hold, sell all, says human being Liz. Don't mention it. Thank you. Oh, well, we just did. We just did like 15 times, so you're welcome. Let's see how many hours or days. What else we've got? We miss you, Martyn. Hope you and Leah had the best time, says Crossflip 2009. David is doing his moderator's role. Spot on, David. Thank you. Liz, my brain feels like that. Okay, we are having a conversation. Thanks for your time, Martyn, Lucas, investor team. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining. It was a great event. We had some good numbers as well tonight. We had a good watch time, I think. We had a good watch time. Over 8 minutes. That's good. 3,500 views. That's not bad. No one sells. As always, great show, Vaz. Well, thank you, Abby. And David Hensley, thank you. Thanks, Vazaki, says Liz. Yeah, great show, Vaz. Thank you. I do apologize for the issues in the beginning. And thank you, everyone, for bearing with me and following me through the disruptions. If Nvidia going up can move all the market up so much, just think what a disaster it will be if the sell-off, if it sells off and drops. Yes, I agree, James. I agree. Abby says, where's Abby? I've lost it. People have been away for a bit. It's going to drop in, and I think Martyn has grown a bit. Yeah. I would love to see Martyn with full beard like I do have. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Let's suggest it to Martyn when he's back. Josh Monroe, I identify as a toaster, so I don't have to pay taxes. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Bamname says hello from his golden throne. Okay. Abby. Okay, so I think it's time to wrap it up. It's time to wrap it up. Let's have a last look at the chart. $196.16. The markets in general. S&P holding up, Nasdaq pushing up as well. Actually, S&P and Nasdaq both pushing up slightly. XRP, Ethereum holding up, Bitcoin holding up, gold slight retraction, and silver inching up. Let's have a look at the chart as well in here. Let's put this into context. So the S&P, we have slight retraction, but generally up. Nasdaq up as well. What is the FTSE 100 doing? That's up as well. That's great. Gold is up and holding above $4,000. Silver holding well above 51 as well. Oil pushing up, and let's have a look at our crypto. Bitcoin pushing up. That's good. Look at these nice green candles. I like it. I like it. XRP pushing up as well, copying what Bitcoin is doing, and Ethereum pushing up as well. That's great. That's great. EVTL pump. I don't think we will have vertical pump until... Oh, we do. Huh. Nice. We've got a little green candle. There's not enough data. There's not enough data coming through after hours, so that's why you can see only one candle. The volume is low on vertical. I still stand by my predictions. I still think vertical will recover. It's just the market has not digested the news. Vertical aerospace literally announced last week and the previous week 2 biggest milestones of the whole year. And the market has been completely oblivious to it. They commenced the phase 4 of their piloted flights, the fully VTOL piloted flight. So we have the full transition. They've commenced it. And they have commenced their certification endeavor, their certification journey with the CAA. I wonder how long until the market will start digesting this. And if we have recovery, if we continue this bull run, that will be very soon, and vertical will be back up and we'll finally be taking our profits and yielding. Archer, what is Archer doing? Archer after hours is going now sideways. I would not be surprised if Archer keeps selling off. Joby, we had great entry opportunity today. $13.60. That's a great price. Still good price for Joby, I think. Ehang, we're not getting any. Oh, we are getting after hours candle. Okay. Horizon Aircraft. This is a bit worrying. This is a bit worrying for me as a trader and as an investor. If I zoom out the 3-month chart, we broke the previous massive support, $1.50. We're bouncing off the $1.50, between $1.50 and $2, and that was a key support. Now we have broken through it. We are $1.33. It might have been a freak out, but I think we'll go lower. As it happens with these early day startups, it's always news, always pump, and then it cools off. There is more updates, more news coming from Horizon, but is the market going to take it in the right way? We don't know. By the way, I have reached out to Horizon, and I would like to have Brandon on the show again. I would like to speak to him on their recent progress and all the news, because they have been through a lot past couple of months. EV mobility is just falling into this. Let me just zoom out. It's very precisely falling into this massive falling wedge. That's not copying because it's off scale a bit. The candles are a bit out of scale. But if I show the 6 month chart, you can see this falling wedge. It's a good sign. On the chart it is, with fundamentals. It could be as well, because EV and mobility, they are expecting to unveil their flying prototype, their operational prototype, end of the year. So it might nicely fall. Look at this. It's crossing mid-December. It might nicely fall in there, and then we could have a massive breakout. But we will look into that later. Beta Technologies, I'm quite surprised, and I don't want to say disappointed, but it's quite... Whoa. What am I doing here? Let me just zoom in. Right, it's quite surprising, this massive drop. To me, I was hoping we would hold around $30, and I would be buying at the end of the month few shares of Beta. But let's see how this develops tomorrow. If we have a green day, I have no doubt it can start recovering fairly quickly. Right, the S&P is up as we speak, and I'm going to wrap this up. I think that's it. I think I've answered all your questions. Donda, vertical pump. Yeah, just hold. If you are in any eVTOL stock, just hold. Let's get through this storm, and then we'll have a massive rally. What was I gonna say? The Dubai Air Show has been treating the eVTOL market well as well, with the fundamentals, with some achievements. So that's just a matter of time when the whole market will start digesting the good news and the progress. Right, I think it's time to wrap it up then. Thank you very much for joining me for the NVIDIA third quarter earnings call. It was great. It was a great show, great audience. You were great. I've learned a lot as well from you, as I do on most of the shows. Great guidance, great numbers. Guidance is great for next quarter as well. Hopefully, great market recovery. And I'm going to do all green, because NVIDIA, and we are going to be all green tomorrow. I know it's not complementing my skin tone. I'm getting a bit red, but solid. It's a green night tonight. Hopefully, we'll wake up green tomorrow as well. That's it from me. Thank you very much. Take care of yourselves and each other.